Hey horror fans, thanks for joining me for this review of The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Cast and crew information down below, and as usual we'll start off with the IMDb plot. Terror grips a small mountain town as bodies are discovered after each full moon. Losing sleep, raising a teenage daughter, and caring for his ailing father, Officer Marshall struggles to remind himself there's no such thing as werewolves. Maybe there is. I don't know. We'll see. I believe this one is on Amazon. I think that's where I caught this one. As usual, hard to keep up with where I see stuff. Let's see. So, we know it's about werewolves. And this one is a horror comedy. So, if you kind of see werewolves or hear me say werewolves, then you're thinking, oh, we're going to get a lot of blood and guts and that kind of thing. This really isn't the movie for it. There are a few scenes set up where you might, especially the opening scene, where you kind of get involved with the scare that's going on here and get involved with the werewolf kill, but it's not heavily based on that. Not one of these blood and guts werewolf movies. A lot of the times you're seeing the aftermath of what happens and the bodies piling up. Instead, this is, like I said, a horror comedy, and it's also kind of a detective movie. Here you have, let's see what his name is, John Marshall, who is like the deputy sheriff now. He's trying to fill the shoes of his father, who was the sheriff, who's still kind of the sheriff in the movie. You see him there, but I guess his time to retire is coming soon, and he's kind of getting old and not going to be on the job for much longer, or he's not really on the job full time. But this is like a small town, so you can't imagine too many crazy things are happening, unlike obviously this. So John is a very interesting character, and obviously the story follows him, and so it's a lot on his shoulders. And interestingly enough, he's played by Jim Cummings, who also wrote and directed it. So not only does he star, but everything is on Jim Cummings to pull this off. But he does a really good job. He's a pretty interesting character. He's got anger issues. I think he drank. He's trying to overcome drinking, and he's raising a teenage daughter. So he's super stressed, and he's got anger issues on top of it, and obviously trying to fill the shoes of his father. It's just a lot on his shoulders here. So you get to go on a journey with him, and as he tries to solve this case, and he's pretty sure it's this, he's pretty sure it's that. Every time they go to a crime scene, he's super stressed out. He's yelling at the other officers, telling them, do this, don't do that. How can you do that? Really funny interaction there with his other officers, and he's so convinced that he's doing everything right, and sometimes he is, and sometimes he's not, and sometimes it's funny the other reactions. He has I believe it's a female cop that's sometimes alongside of him, and she's typically right, and sometimes looks at him like, come on, and but it's just funny all around every time they have a crime scene and the setup and so forth. So again, here you have werewolf killings, and John is not really following along here. He's not really catching the werewolf vibe, especially at first. Like I said, the female cop detective, she kind of leans in that direction before him. So he's thinking that it's this person or that person, and doing a typical investigation. Well, she kind of thinking maybe it's something else. They kind of think that maybe it's an animal or so forth. So you see the bodies piling up, and the case going on. You see him in the pressure. You see his daughter and her reaction to things. and then it builds and builds and builds until they get closer to um, you know solving the case. Who is the werewolf, and um, it has a good this is a new movie, so I don't want to give away too many spoilers. It has a good ending. I think there's a little bit of a twist there, a little bit of excitement towards the end. You finally, you get caught up in the comedy a lot, and you get to see the dead bodies and so forth. But there's not too much horror in it. Like I said, you don't see too many of the deaths and so forth. You get to see maybe some of the setups and some of the times when the werewolf is coming, but you really don't get to see the action until the end. The end, obviously, they give you a little bit of action there and finally top it off. It's a little bit of a twist, but it finishes off nicely. And I think it was a good job acting all around, and just a fun, different kind of film. Really didn't know what to expect with this one. I just kind of saw it there and just threw it on, and ended up liking it. I liked it. Nothing crazy outrageous here. I think again, a lot of it is on this character John Marshall. If you like him and kind of following in his footsteps and watching him and how he's just angry with everybody and stressed out and whatever, maybe you can relate to that. You're gonna like it. If not, then maybe it's not for you. And again, it's just not a huge on werewolf killings. It's more of the aftermath, and sometimes leading up to the kill. And obviously there's something similar with all the deaths and why the werewolf is targeting certain people here and there. You can call it a twist at the end if you want. I guess it depends. I don't want to give it away. But they have their own surprises for you at the end of this movie. So with that, I think I'm going to give this one 3.5 pools of blood. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's fall out of your seat funny, but I think it's entertaining enough. I thought it was well shot. It's nice there in the snow, cold weather, and I think the acting is solid all around, and I think they do a pretty good job of keeping you entertained from beginning to end. Again, not the funniest of films, but I think it's entertaining enough, and again, if you like John's character, you might just like the movie. So with that, 3.5 pools of blood, and as usual, cast and crew down below, like I said. Twitter, Facebook, information down below. Feel free to comment on this video if you saw this movie and whether you liked it or not. Maybe you want to comment on something else. If you have something you want me to review, you can leave it there, and I'll check it out. Obviously on Twitter, Facebook, you can reach me as well, and if there's something you want me to review or talk about this movie as well, happy to do so. And subscribe to the channel, more video reviews. And obviously go to horrorreviews.blogspot.com, which is down below as well, to find more written reviews, plenty of written reviews of tons of movies and going back some time. So with that, I will get out of this snowy movie and on to the next one, and I'll catch you later, horror fans.